What's going on right now in New York City is deeply disturbing, and investors, truckers, business owners, entrepreneurs are deeply, deeply disturbed. Property owners, they're very concerned about what's going on in New York City right now, and this is really what sparked the trucker protest for New York City. It's not about whether or not you're a Trump fan, whether you like Trump or you don't like Trump. I've got something I want to share with you guys in this video here about what Kathy Hochul, governor of New York, said, and it's deeply disturbing. What we're seeing going on in New York City right now. And guys, I always want to just thank you so much for always dropping a like for these videos. Thank you so much for sharing them. This is how we fight back. And basically what we're seeing is that if you are a successful business owner, if you've, made your way, you built a business, you've built a legacy for yourself, and but if you don't agree with the current regime, if you don't agree with the current agenda, they will come after you. They will seek to take your assets. They will take your stuff. They will get into your bank accounts. One way or another is the message that appears to be coming out as a result of what we're seeing going on in New York City right now. Now, we've heard from Kevin O'Leary, Shark Tank co-host, investor Kevin O'Leary, who is looking to build some data centers, and he was considering New York City for doing this. I don't know why you would want to necessarily build a data center in New York. I definitely wouldn't do that personally. I pick another spot other than New York City for that. Even if they're having access to Niagara Falls is making energy or power really cheap, but cooling would be more important. But the thing is this. We've heard from Kevin O'Leary. We've heard from Grant Cardone. Their takes, both business owners, real estate developers, very much like Donald Trump and his real estate portfolio and empire. They're looking at New York City. They're looking at what we've seen after the deliberations and the $355 million court hearing from, which was placed on Donald Trump. The penalty that was imposed on a single individual, Donald Trump, $355 million. And it's really more like $455 million at the end of the day, not just 355. This is a substantial penalty where there was no crime where an individual or business entity was negatively impacted. I mean, to the extent of the penalty is just, it's egregious in many people's opinions. Now, what Kathy Hochul has said here, and before we get any further into this, if I just want to ask you guys to just take 1 second, drop a quick like for the video. I totally appreciate you guys, and I want to thank you so much for always sharing these videos. You guys have no idea how much I appreciate that. But what they're doing right now, this is a clear message that if you do not agree with those in power, they will come and take you down. Now, something disturbing I came across something rather disturbing earlier, and there's a post here, and it says that Governor Kathy Hochul, if truckers boycott New York, we can seize your bank accounts and homes. Now, is this a true statement that's being made here? I mean, did Kathy Hochul really say this? I'm just sharing with you guys what I'm looking at here. It says here, Governor Hochul of New York gives truckers a stern warning: if they boycott, she can employ their bank accounts and seize their homes. American truckers aren't Canadians. These kind of threats will close New York in a New York second. Now, I am hoping that Kathy Hochul would not really have said something like this. It goes on to say, let's see here, not delivering to New York is a hate crime against illegals, and because Wall Street and the Federal Reserve are in New York, the ruling on Trump set precedents, hence giving her authority to empty their bank accounts and seize their homes. Now, guys, I'm not an attorney. I'm not, a lawyer or anything like that, but this doesn't really seem like it's legitimate. Now, we did, however, witness a massive trucker convoy which took place across the south part of the United States toward the southern border, with the entire, I think they called it God's Army, heading down toward Texas for the basically, like, I think we heard of a number like 700,000 truckers and participants were headed down to the southern border to address the illegal migrant situation taking place, where we have thousands, tens of thousands of illegal migrants entering the United States on a daily basis. So this massive trucker convoy basically went down to protest, or at least speak their piece and attempt to show their support for the laws of this nation. Well, we also had seen, if you think back to, just a couple years ago, there was a Canadian convoy where hundreds, maybe even thousands of truckers were basically protesting in Canada. And what did we see there? Well, we saw Justin Trudeau ultimately freeze the bank accounts of participating truckers, or freezing the bank accounts of those supporting those particular truckers in Canada. So we've actually seen something like this happen before. If I'm not mistaken, what we later saw was that what the truckers were doing, or actually what Justin Trudeau had done, was not legal, and basically he had to renege and pull back on what he had done once it was actually brought up in court. Now, if a trucker here in the United States, in New York City, decides not to make deliveries to New York, that's not illegal. It's, if you decide to boycott and decide not to, offer your services as a business owner, as an entrepreneur, as an owner operator of an 18-wheeler truck, you don't have to deliver anywhere, so that's not illegal. So I just can't imagine how this would actually be a legitimate statement here. But here's something that is a little concerning. So Hochul tells New York businesses not to fear about the Trump verdict, nothing to worry about. So New York City, New York Governor Kathy Hochul addressed New York business owners in a new interview and told them that there's nothing to worry about after former President Donald Trump was hit with a $355 million fine and a ban on conducting business in New York for 3 years. Hochul was joined where she was asked if the New York business people should be worried that if they can do that to the former president, that they can do it to anybody. And this is what a lot of business owners are concerned about right here, right now. We've already heard from Kevin O'Leary, Shark Tank investor and co-host. We've already heard from Grant Cardone. We've heard from a number of other business owners who are literally saying, hey, look at all of these other states that have never done anything like this before. In fact, New York City has, in 75 years, there's never been a law placed, or there's never been anything like this actually done in the last 75 years. But yet, here you have former President Donald Trump, and all of a sudden, you decide to dig into this. You decide to file a case against former President Donald Trump, where there were no injured parties, financially or physically. The banks have done their own homework. The banks have done their own research. The banks have, evaluated the properties and the values of the assets that Donald Trump provided in terms of collateral for the loans where he, borrowed money against. They approved everything. The loans were made and approved. The banks did their own due diligence. They appraised the properties on their own, and they came up with their own numbers. And at the end of the day, real estate is worth what anyone is willing to pay at any given point in time. And so if I come up with a number, if Donald Trump comes up with a number, the bank comes up with another number, and a third party appraisal company comes up with a fourth number, there's a reason why there's 4 different numbers. They're evaluating things differently. And so at the end of the day, the bank approved the loan to provide Donald Trump with enough capital to be able to build out the next building that he wanted to build. I'm not even sure what building in New York City he was trying to build, but at the end of the day, apparently he made a lot of money and a lot of people are not happy about his success. And so, call it hating, call it, but whether you're a fan of Donald Trump or not, whether you're a Republican or Democrat, it's not about that, guys. It is about coming after someone who is successful and who may not necessarily have your same political standing, or, if you don't have the same political ideals and ideologies as everyone else, you could very well be a target. And this is what a lot of investors are concerned about when doing business in the state of New York, particularly in New York City. So drop me some comments, guys. What are you guys seeing? What are you guys thinking about this? Like, does this sound fair, or is this like, is Donald Trump being targeted? So I want to hear what you guys have to say on this one. Drop me some comments. Check out my previous videos, and I'm gonna catch you guys on the next one. Y'all be safe.